Good morning. I feel like there's not nearly enough of us here. Well, well, how are you today? I'm going to go ahead and get started, but I know that we'll have some more that are going to join us, I think. Because right now it's only what, 5 of you out of 11. That's only half. So let's go ahead and pray. Father, we just thank you today for all of the ways that you show that you're faithful. I ask, Lord, that you would take the time that we spend together and help us to understand your perspective of all of the things in life, from finances to how we interact with others. We appreciate the wisdom that comes with knowing you better, and we just ask that our conversation here would lead us towards you. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, guys. We have exciting things happening at our house right now. As I talk to you outside, people are laying concrete for a patio that we have been planning for like 10 years. Super exciting. And we're right in the middle of it right now. So it's been very fascinating to learn. I'm glad to see all of you here. I'm not sure why we don't have everybody else here. I got a notice on my phone that Ren had joined. But apparently we've got weirdness happening. Did you guys have any trouble logging on? No? Oh, here comes Taylor and Kenna. Ryan, what were you gonna say?
I had a question. Can I file for bankruptcy?
Can't hear you.
Can I file for bankruptcy?
Ryan, were you still trying to talk?
Hello?
He asked if he could file for bankruptcy.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Oh, your signal is
Nope.
bad.
Tyler.
All right, fine, be that
everybody.
way. I
We
guess
can
you'll
hear
have
you,
to
Tyler.
type it into the chat log if you want to
Miss
talk to
Deal,
us for
can you
right
hear me?
now. I'm glad you can hear us.
I'll take that as a no.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Well, I do want you to type because I think that this is a really interesting chapter. So tell me a little bit about what is Samuel doing? Why are you laughing at Samuel? Now I'm paying attention to all of the
Can you
chat
hear
log a
us?
lot. What's up,
Can you hear me?
Samuel?
Can you hear us? Can you hear
Can
us?
you
hear?
No, I
Can
can't
you
hear
hear
you.
anyone? Can you hear us?
Mia Maggie, can you? Oh,
Can you
I had my computer on mute.
We're all talking and you
Sorry. I'm like, I can see the little green things lighting up that you're saying something. Okay. Let us hope that this is not how it's all going to go today. Okay. You are currently, my volume is up.
Okay. I asked if I could file for bankruptcy.
I don't have that as part of the game. I'm sorry to say. But that's an interesting thing that we should talk about as far as what that would require and not. But I don't have that in there right now. Samuel, what were you gonna say?
I was just asking multiple times if you could hear me.
No, I can't hear you. I've got my computer on mute. Why is that a problem? Okay. I'm glad you're happy, Tyler. It takes a lot to get me going most days. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the cost of beauty. What did you think was interesting from either of the articles you read? Tyler.
I was laughing through like all of these articles. But anyways, I thought it was hilarious that our stupid economy spent over $2 billion in 2016 on just stupid beauty products. I was like, wow. Okay.
It's a lot of money, right? Mia, what did you think was interesting?
I found two things interesting. One, I just thought that it was funny that the average time that a boy and a girl spends getting ready is not that different. Like there was only I think 8 minutes or something in between how long it takes, and I feel like not in all cases. There are cases where usually girls take forever to get ready, but on average, we don't take that much longer than guys. So I thought that was interesting. And also, I thought it was interesting when it talked about the trends and the money that people spend. Because usually, if you're really into that, like a lot of makeup and clothing and just really focus on your appearance, then you pay attention to trends a lot. And there are more expensive and less expensive trends. And so it depends on like how much money you're spending yearly because trends are different. And if so, it depends. Sometimes it'll be you don't spend much money, and sometimes it'll be you spend a lot because it depends on like what is in fashion.
Mm-hmm. What else? Samuel.
I found the differences in money spent on boys versus girls versus infants. And I appreciate that boys have the least. I spend all of maybe 30 seconds per 2 or 3 days on my appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just found that interesting though, all jokes aside. I found it interesting how big the difference was of like a few $100s. Like maybe that doesn't seem like a whole bunch, but over the years that can become thousands of dollars difference. And it can make a very large difference.
Mm-hmm. Ryan?
In my opinion, I don't even really like nice clothes. I prefer rugged looks.
Well, what's interesting is that I think for men, while suits and ties are definitely expensive, I have been shopping over at the feed store, and the Carhartts and the rugged attire that has a name brand is also super pricey. So it's just interesting to me. I think that women are typically given the reputation of being more interested in fashion or whatnot, but men spend money on their special things as well, depending on what it is, right? Everything is that way. Taylor.
I don't go out and buy rugged things. I just ask for hand-me-downs from my parents or me or her, you know,
Yeah.
like this. I love this. And it's like super comfy.
Fantastic sweatshirt. Ren, do you remember the story your parents told about going shopping for the paint spattered pants? Do you want to tell that story or do you want me to tell it?
I'll tell it. So I have a pair of pants and they're like my least favorite pants. And so I use them when I paint and stuff because my dad's a contractor and I'll help him out sometimes. And so at this point, these pants over the years have become covered in various colors of paint. And my dad pretty much won't let me out of the house wearing them unless I'm going to paint at this point. And he always complains about my paint covered pants. I judged livestock for years and years, and through that I would go to different competitions in different places. And one time my dad, who drove me, when he went shopping and he wandered around all these stores in this town, and he goes, "Bryn, I found your jeans." He goes, "They're like $200." And he takes photo. They look exactly like the jeans I have, except the paint's different colors. But I was like, see, I'm a trendsetter here. But they put paint on them. They just looked like they'd been used, and it was shocking because it looks like the painter's pants, the cheap, dirty ones that the painters actually throw away after they've worn them so many times because they don't like wearing paint covered pants.
Yeah.
And people buy these for like $200. And I was like, see, my pants are fine.
I apologize, but the guys laying the concrete have just told us that we can stick our hands in the concrete right now. Can we please take a 15-minute break? And I will be back, and Mia and Maggie will be back. And I apologize. This is about memories being made for forever right now. So I'll just,
They could just talk.
you guys could just stay and talk. But we're gonna go. stick our
Okay,
hands in
that's
and
fine.
Come back. What?
Okay, that's fine, but me and Ryan have to be done by 12:15.
I totally understand.
We have work, so
We're gonna be fast. Why don't you continue
sorry.
talking about the beauty economics, and then we'll be back and we'll move on to action reports. Thank you. I'm so sorry. It's
Okay.
terribly unprofessional, but the good news is none of you paid me.
You're
for this,
good.
so I'm not really a professional.
Not like this is for a college degree or anything.
That was sudden.
It does count for half a credit though, so if any of you were wondering.
Who's better, Captain
Uh,
America or Iron Man?
Samuel, this is a really random request, but when I come over today, can I get some socks?
No, you may not borrow socks.
Let me
That is the
check.
sin of the highest
Forgot to
order.
check on this one.
My socks stink really, really bad right now. It's not even funny. Oh, wait.
Sam, can we get a sneak peek of your drawer?
Oh, never mind.
No.
My grandma said that she can bring me
Welcome to lure trolls.
Who's
in.
better, Captain America or
Yes,
Iron Man?
Tyler, I have the perfect socks for you.
some.
Jack Sparrow. Those are
Jack Sparrow?
Wow.
Yes, it's perfect.
Dude, they're insane. They've got little ninja bread men on them.
I'm assuming they're Judas.
No, we
Wait, I
got
feel like
them,
I've seen you wear
years
them.
ago. Judah got little pickle socks that say I'm a big Bill. It's a horrible pun, so I love it.
Ren, you look disgusted.
deeply disappointed in you. You should wash your socks more.
Captain America or Iron Man?
Iron Man. 100%.
Weren't we supposed to be
Back up.
talking about economics?
No.
No, shut up.
Teacher's
Did anybody else
everyone
have
flip your
any
camera
comments
upside
on
down.
that?
Did you just call me the teacher's pet?
No, I said no, shut up. How does that sound like the teacher's
We
pet?
can flip our camera upside down, right?
Yes. Hang on.
If anyone is the teacher's
I'm
pet,
doing
he's the actual
stuff
child of the teacher.
Oh my gosh, this is so trippy.
Everybody
Okay,
go upside
now we
down.
can end up comics.
No, Tyler!
Yes, I hate that. It's driving me.
I love it. I'm gonna log on my computer right now just to do that.
You don't have Wi-Fi.
Shut up.
It's connected through my phone, ding dong.
Shut up.
Everybody go upside down.
Die.
Brian, JJ, come back.
We're supposed to talk about economics, not being upside down.
I
Okay.
agree with
Daniel,
Emily.
Now
stop being.
Wait, what if I'm upside down when I'm upside down?
You're right. Shut up.
Wait, what?
Wait. No, this don't work.
It does.
Wait. Hang on. I'm becoming a cow person or a cat person. Might work. I don't know what it's doing. It's taking forever.
Go upside down.
Great job, you broke it.
Okay, I'm going upside down. Upside down.
Samuel, why is your background blurry? Not upside down.
Wait, if I do this.
No.
Welcome back to the chaos.
I did not.
We're back.
kick me.
What the heck?
I
Who
love
did
it.
that?
Jurassic Park.
I did that. And then it kicked me.
My hand is orange because of the concrete.
I can't even see anyone.
Me neither. Me neither.
Where is everybody?
Toby Maguire.
We're just-
No. Andrew Garfield.
Can you guys see this beautiful face? Okay, now I can see it.
He was
Your
pointing at me.
bandwidth is low, Tyler.
See not a single beautiful face.
I know
in
my
this entire
bandwidth is
chat.
extremely low. It's going on like
He was pointing at me,
Up.
by the way.
2 megabits per second. It's really slow.
Beep, beep,
Because
bap, beep,
my
beep,
phone
beep.
is off of
Bop.
service and Surface sucks right now.
Service, do better. You're supposed to raise it.
Well, Siri, which takes more bandwidth. Good job.
Siri. Siri.
Put a band-aid over the
We
rotor.
need to
It'll
stay
help.
on track, people.
I was raising it now.
See, Kenna agrees.
I do agree.
I agree too. I'm just
laugh.
plainly ignoring you.
She will not touch anything. No, we're unmuted, just so you know.
Hi, Kat.
Hi, people.
Go put her back now. No, that's okay. She's too
This looks
fluffy.
very intimidating, but at the same time not intimidating. Bring me some.
Her out. Her out.
So on the subject of what we're actually supposed to be doing, did anyone look at the ads and kind of the message they send?
Yes, and thank you.
Yes.
Why does everybody listen to you and not me?
I don't know.
Because she's got the actual like authority voice, and you're just like, hey, maybe we should do this.
Damn,
Oh, I
you're
can
way
do
too
it, man.
gentle.
Okay,
You have
guys,
to give
everybody
them
mute yourselves
authority,
right now. We are
power.
doing school.
We're the
So
ones upside
Samuel
down.
can be intimidating.
Oh, mommy's back.
He's all sorry, you're not allowed to yell at me. You can leave the field now.
All right.
Oh.
Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate it. The memory has been made. What did you come up with? The top points from while I was gone? Anyone? Did you even talk about
They
this?
could not stay on topic.
That
They just
red
put their
tried.
cameras upside down.
Okay, so you had a little free time. Okay, well, when I left, Lydia had her hand up to say something. If you can turn yourselves right side up, that would be really helpful. Lydia?
Yeah, Tyler.
Shut up.
So I've read the articles, and I personally don't think that I take anywhere near that much time. I
Right?
take as least the least amount of time as possible, just getting dressed and brushing my hair in the morning. I don't really bother with trend stuff. I like wearing
Fancy
fun,
sometimes not even
comfy
sure.
clothes, not uncomfortable, fancy, weird ones.
Sure. Kenna and Taylor, I guess.
I agree with what Lydia said. I like get up, get dressed, and put a hat on and walk out the door. I don't take like any time to do anything. I just like, you know what? The way I woke up is the way I'm looking today. The world is blessed to have me when I wake up, and you can't tell me otherwise. I don't even brush my hair in the morning. I just walk out the door in my PJs and do my chores. It's
Are
great.
they counting showers as well?
I think they are counting showers, but I'm not
Oh,
sure.
showers.
See, I
Okay, well
I
then
don't
that's
take
where they're getting the numbers from, because I take like 3-4 minutes just to get dressed and
For-
everything.
For me, I don't take showers in the morning. I take them at night, so that isn't even part of it.
Well, what I do think is that there is at least a chance that as you guys age, this will morph and change a little bit. Another thing that I think is very interesting is there are videos now where you watch people put on makeup and completely change their appearance based on the makeup they put on and the contouring and everything else. It's absolutely fascinating to me. This did not happen when I was a teenager. And so you are caught in the crosshairs of a changing society and cultural norms. And I know many of you don't have social media right now, but the time will probably come when you will get on it. And if you're aware ahead of time that these are for real things, like if you go into a grocery store or a Walmart or a Target, realize that every single inch of space on those shelves has a price tag attached to it. Also, where it's located on the shelf has a price tag attached to it. So if it's at eye level, it is a more expensive price tag than what you have to bend down to reach at the floor. Now, when you go into the grocery store next time, or you know, the drugstore, whatever else, count how many aisles and how many inches each section of product has. And when you count that and you look at how many options there are for shampoo and conditioner, or razors and deodorant, or beauty supply, and how it's not just, beauty supplies are not just lined up on top of each other, they have display cases with space to bring you in. Realize that they would not spend that money if they were not getting that money, and they need you to provide that for them. You can get the same thing at Suave for $3 a bottle as you can pay for Bumble and Bee for $30 a bottle. It's still 16 ounces of shampoo. And so just realizing that there is that much money being made worldwide on beauty products and promises to you that you'll look better, don't fall into the trap. Taylor?
What if my eye level is not the same as all of the other people's eye level?
They have figured that out. Look at a toy section and identify which toys are lower versus the cosmetics section and which items are taller. Like, it's fascinating. Just start being conscious when you walk through the stores about what is going to appeal to what.
They probably make it so it's lower in the toy section for all the toddlers and short kids that want to get toys.
Mhm. The higher priced items are often at children's eye levels. Ren?
This is something I didn't realize until more recent, but this is like a person's job. Somebody strategically plans, and like there are certain stores where there's stores and there's cameras in stores all over the place, but there are certain stores that they actually did a study and they mapped where people went first, and then they strategically place things to like put them there. And like the middle aisles generally are like the tantrum aisles, that's what they're called, because you take your kid through there and there's all these things, and that's where you have breakdowns. So if you just skirt the store, like stores have similar layouts, and so there's a method to it, like it's planned strategically to do it that way.
It's a
And
college
I just found it fascinating.
program called marketing. Mia?
I was just gonna say that's one of the worst things I've heard about being an adult is when they rearrange a store, and that is also strategic because they rearrange things. Because if you go a lot, you learn vegetables, produce is here, clothes are here, basic other, we'll say hygiene items are here. Like, where everything is, and if they rearrange it, then they still expect you to kind of walk that same path, but it makes you go through all of these new sections, making you think, oh, I do need that. Oh, actually, I probably should grab that, when you wouldn't have even gone down that aisle in the first place. But since they rearranged it, now you do go down that aisle and you find things that you don't necessarily need, or you didn't know you needed or wanted, that now you are reminded, and so then you buy.
Mhm. When you realize how much people are expecting to use you to fund their dreams, it encourages you to be a little bit more savvy about your choices. Lydia?
I've seen some things about how they arrange stuff. At the store, they'll often put all the frozen, the dairy and maybe bread, but especially the dairy stuff at the very back of the store, so that you have to walk all the way through all the toys and stuff. And they'll have, for instance, we go to somewhere called Lidl, and they'll have the bakery right at the very front, right when you walk in, so that you see it all, and to make sure that you see that part. And they'll have all sorts of things in the checkout aisles that are just last minute. Gum doesn't really cost more than $3 or $4, but it can add up to quite a lot.
Absolutely. And then what going back to the assignment that came with this, what does the Bible say about beauty? Tyler.
God created you in his own image and you're like already beautiful in his eyes. So there's nothing that really needs to be changed.
Mhm. All right, lots of hands. We'll go Lydia, Kenna, Taylor, Mia.
The outside doesn't matter nearly as much as the inside.
Mhm. Kenna,
That the Lord doesn't look at men how men look at men. He looks at men in the heart and what he created.
Mhm.
Wait, no. Sorry. You are beautifully and wonderfully made, or fearfully and wonderfully made.
Mia,
I can't remember the exact verse, but I remember reading one that says that you should care more about your inner beauty than your outward, because beauty on the outside fades, but if you have good character, then that doesn't fade. And also about like what God says about bodies specifically, it says that your body is a temple, and that helps, like eat healthy and all that kind of stuff, I guess.
absolutely. Wonderful. I think that this is one of the biggest traps, especially for young people. And so I'm really glad that you are taking it and processing it. Miss Lilia?
I found at least 10. I found a whole website with a bunch of them, but I found at least 10 that I wrote down the points from it and then the thing.
Awesome. Do you want to share that?
I can share a few more of them.
Okay.
So there's one that says to make time for solitude, which I feel like that could be sort of connected to it, and that one's from Matthew 11:28-30. Jesus does want our needs to be taken care of from Matthew 15-32. There are a lot of ones from Matthew, and then First Corinthians. The eye is the lamp of the body from Matthew 6:22-23, and then some other ones that other people said also.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that you guys have taken this. I think this is really, really important because you can waste so much money on beauty things, even if you're a guy. That's the other thing that I want to really point out is that there is this idea that men are not going to be affected the same way, and they are. It's slightly different, but it's a thing for men as well. Tyler.
I was talking to one of my, adult friends, and he was like, yeah, like all these beauty products and everything can almost be more addicting than drugs because of like how obsessed people get with them.
Yep, absolutely. And yes, I'm going to stop because there are so many ucky products that are inside of them that can actually cause cancer, and we just keep signing up for more. So, all right, let's move on to the action cards, and let's just go alphabetically today. Elijah, are you willing to go first now that you've experienced your movie star mentality?
I might need just a minute.
Okay. If you want, I'll go on to Kenna and then I'll come back to you. How about that? All right, Kenna, you're next. I'm going alphabetically, so you'll be able to know which one you're gonna go.
I'm gonna go like last.
Mhm.
Good for you. Okay, so mine was name a star, and I researched things that are named after people. And actually, everyday items that you see in your house are named after people, like the mason jar. I didn't know, but that was named after someone. The Ferris wheel was named after someone. Bowler hats were made out of someone. Were named
That would
after
be
someone.
awkward.
Yeah. all kinds of things were made out of people. Oh my goodness! why did I say that?
You're just wearing someone's
Name.
spleen.
I'm sorry. I don't know why that's stuck in my head. Okay. Naming yourself after something can cost money, but it also could cost nothing. Like naming a kid after you doesn't cost anything because it's your child. But like putting your name on a license plate or customizing a license plate, something like that, it will cost you money. Yeah, that's basically what I have.
Okay, thank you. Elijah, are you ready now?
Yes, I think so.
Awesome.
Okay, so I was supposed to research what genres of movies are the most profitable for studios and actors, and what this says about the viewers. So, according to what I researched, the most profitable kinds of movies are typically adventure movies. And that's not very surprising, but I found out that this did kind of surprise me. Action movies, which you would think they're the same, but apparently they're not. They actually are one of the least profitable types of movies. I think it was only bringing in about 10 to 85 cents per dollar spent or of profit. And my conclusion from the research I did was that most people would rather be entertained with high-speed, fast-paced movies than have to watch something like a documentary where you actually have to think about it. And that summarizes what I researched.
Awesome. Thank you. Will Smith is an actor who was, he became famous for a sitcom, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he did not pay any taxes on his income. And so when he was about 24 years old, he was about to go to jail and bankrupt. And he and his agent sat down and identified which movies made the most money. And he strategically got roles in those movies so that he would generate the income to pay his taxes. And he has gone on to be one of the most profitable movie stars that exists. So I think that that's really fascinating. You can have a wonderful romantic comedy. It will not make money. If you have Top Gun, that's an adventure movie, it's going to make money. And apparently if there are aliens involved, it makes even more money. So that's always fun. Lydia, you ready to
Okay.
tell us?
Yes. So I had to research garage sales, which seem to get you lots of money, although I've never heard of garage sale getting you 100K. So how to have a successful garage sale? Put anything that you don't need to be sold at your sale, so you can be close at the same time. Advertise it. You can advertise online or in a newspaper. For the few people that actually sell newspapers, which I think is cool. You read newspapers. Then you can have a community yard sale. Can attract more buyers because they'll know that a greater variety of stuff is there. You can make a lot of signs that capture people's attention, pointing to where you're going to have a garage sale or garage sale, and then what you're selling. It can be very helpful to organize what you are selling, so that everyone can find what they want to get. And to make your garage sale easy to shop, you want to clean up the outside of your house. That way it looks, I don't know, just because. And
sketchy.
then use what?
Not sketchy.
Yeah, sure. Tables can make things easier to look at. Unless of course it's something on the ground. Like you don't want to put a refrigerator on a table if you were going to sell a refrigerator, but stuff that makes sense. You can hang up clothing so it's easy to go through it, and so you don't have to keep folding it and folding it and folding it throughout the day. And you can make it comfy. Have music, sell drinks, have fans, and you can also use like a pop-up canopy for shade. Anything to make them stay longer and buy stuff that they don't necessarily need. You can put price tags on items, and that'll make it a lot easier. Unless of course you have someone who wants to haggle, and then they'll try it and haggle probably. Then you want to make sure you have a good price. 20% of the original price can be a good amount. But of course, if it was in really good condition or wasn't even opened, I'm sure you could sell it for more. And then if it's vintage, I mean, then even more than that. You want to have lots of change and small bills ready, because you don't want to lose a sale because you forgot to go to the bank to get money. And it can be good to donate all the rest of the items that you didn't sell, because the whole point of a garage sale is some items to sell well at garage sales are old games, picture frames, furniture, dishes, and this is, I found a website and it said this in order of least to most, and this is like the top 15. I'm not sure if it's accurate at all, but it was old games, 15, and picture frames, furniture, dishes, and it said there that they were like vintage dishes maybe, costume jewelry, fishing rods, artwork, camping gear, decor and signs, something else that I didn't understand, then jackets, tools, exercise equipment, appliances, and then apparently, I guess the thing that sells the most, if it was supposed to be in order or whatever, is bottled water. Because people want water, and yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Maggie, talk to me about foraging in your area.
Okay, so I researched some of the plants, well, the edible plants that are in around our area, and I found that prickly pear cactus, blackberries, lobster mushrooms, elderberries, mallow plants, and strawberries are pretty common. My favorite one is my favorite one to say, and the most interesting one, is the mallow plant. It's actually the plant that you take like the, I guess, nectar kind of, and what you make marshmallows out of, which was really cool. And I found that it's here in Arizona, and that was extremely cool. But my thing was, can you like harvest them and sell them for profit? And here in Arizona, you can, like the prickly pear, it's very common. Like there's prickly pear lemonade, a ton of different prickly pear stuff, and it actually does taste extremely good. I have had it. So you can make profit off of it, but I would just rather eat what I collect. I like all of the food that's here. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Leave it on, Mia. You get to pay for a wedding.
Actually, I get to pay for 3 weddings. So something that I found interesting while researching this topic is that the average price of a wedding varies by state, which it kind of would make sense that some of the most expensive states to get married in are California, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland, New Hampshire, Hawaii, Rhode Island, a lot of states that have a really high population or that have a higher population. But the average price ranges about from $30,000 to $12,000. And again, depends on the person, the decorations that you use. And that doesn't account for if you elope or anything like that. The average price of Arizona is $21,483 to get married, and that lands pretty much right in the middle. The average price across all states is $20,000, so it's really close to average across all states. And then the average length of a wedding ceremony is typically 20 to 30 minutes, and that also can depend on things that the bride and groom choose to do, like their vows. Sometimes they're very short, sometimes they're very long. It just depends. So that can range a little bit, and the reception is usually quite a bit longer. On average, a wedding reception can be as long as 4 to 5 hours. That includes dinner, dancing, any maid of honor, family, wedding party speeches, and any other celebrations that might be unique to that wedding. So there's a lot of different ranges that can happen because weddings can be very unique and people are really particular about it usually. So it just depends, but that's kind of what I found.
All right, thank you. So it could be as much as $1,000 a minute. All right, Ryan, house sitting.
Okay, so I don't have Wi-Fi, so I can't pull it up on my laptop, but this is what I remember of it. So, on average, house sitters use, or a babysitter gets hired once to twice a month. Unless their family is working a lot, then it will be almost every day except for like weekends. And the average cost is about $16 to $17 an hour. What else? I can't really remember anything else, but
Okay. All right, thank you. Ren? do
Yeah,
you
we're
wanna
both
tell
kind
us-
of in a bad situation. If we try and open it, we'll get kicked from the call. And then if we close it, then we'll be able to get the call. So, sorry.
Interesting. Well, hope we can get that solved. Print it next time. Solar power, Ren?
Solar.
And
I
we're-
gotta say, I was really excited about this topic.
Okay.
So I grew up off the grid for a long time, for like 10 years. And we had solar and wind, so this was a fun topic. Solar power. So the big points of why to have solar power is basically because it's an efficient way to use the energy opportunity offered by the sun. And it's a good security, Do you remember last year when Texas last winter had all of those power lines down? And my uncle actually went out and worked because he's in the electrical field, and he actually went out and helped work on all the lines and everything. But there was no heat in any of these houses. And anyone who had solar power was fine because they were not on the main electrical grid. And with solar, usually you're still on the main electrical in case anything goes out. So you still have a small fee each month to stay hooked up to the electrical grid. Here it's $29. And so ideally for solar, and I talked to my dad about this, he's installed a lot of solar systems. I did like a mini interview. And he said you want to shoot for like 85%. And similar articles I read said like 90. Some said 100, but they said there were some like downsides to it as well. So 85 was a good number, just median it out. You pay like your fee to stay hooked up to the electrical grid plus a few dollars a month if you run like hair dryers, toasters, anything that really pushes you over. Like if you have an AC system or a heat system that pumps out a bunch of heat and it's on all the time, you probably will run over a little on your solar and have to pay some on your electric bill. So for solar, the main the important part is that you have the panels. You usually want between a set of 6 to 12 panels, and you stick them. You have to pick strategically, and it depends on where you live, where they will get the most exposure to the sun. But even on cloudy days, the sun still is there and solar panels will still pick up the sun. It's just a bit less. I actually read, and there's a solar calculator. It goes state by state, how many like sunny days, full sunny days, and partial sunny days. And it calculates out how much more kilowatt hours you will get depending on what state you are in. Like Arizona and Colorado are really good states to have solar. And even in like Missouri and other places that are more cloudy, it still is helpful. It's even if it's darker, you still get solar power. It's just less efficient.
Okay.
Solar power is also efficient, and you have a security, not only in if anything happens to the electric, have blackouts, but you also have, like, if there is ever an energy crisis, you have a backup, which is quite nice.
Mhm.
And another thing, which is the main point with solar, on top of setting back your electric bill, which it's approximately over $1,000 a year, the solar panels usually pay for themselves in 5 years. And then solar panels last for 25 years before they stop becoming efficient. So you have 20 years of power that you didn't have to pay for because the first 5 years pays them off. So they're more of a long-term investment. The most important part of your solar system, besides for actually getting up there and mounting it, is the inverter, which transforms your power from your solar energy into your actual power. It actually feeds it into your electrical, but that's a whole thing. And the biggest point to remember, and I have a clip because I couldn't resist. Let's see if I can get it to play.
Tomorrow, you're only a day away.
Nope, it wouldn't play. Hang on.
It was Tomorrow from Annie.
Live or die with your help.
Sorry. The sun will come out tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. Even in the winter, it's great. So you have an opportunity to take advantage of that power, and it's just there. It's not costing you anything versus electric, which does. Another thing is that you could run over your power, and any of the excess you can technically sell back to the electrical company. You usually don't want to do that because to have such a large system to run over on your solar, it actually doesn't pay for itself. It costs more because you have to have so many solar panels. But it's a good investment to make long term.
It looks like Tyler and Lydia have questions. Do you want to type those in the chat log so she can see them? Can you type, or do you need to talk?
It wasn't a question, it's a statement, but it's fine.
It's gone now. The time has passed.
Well,
Lydia?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you because it'll be easier. I will, or not ask exactly. It's more of a statement. Since the sun causes some things like in the summer, I mean, it's the one that really causes you to want AC. So it might as well, give back at least some sort of resource, right?
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. Samuel?
All right, I got to speak about the Great Depression, or write about anyway. So you've probably heard of the Great Depression. I hope you have. It's a well-known event in American history. So basically what happened is the US economy was flourishing. Our economy increased by about 2 times between 1920 and 1929. And that was called the Roaring Twenties because it was in the 1920s, go figure. And then in October of 1929, the stock market crashed. And so all these people who had bought shares in the stock market by borrowing all of a sudden had no money to pay back their loans. And so the entire economy started collapsing. At its lowest point in 1933, about 15 million Americans were unemployed, and half of the banks in America had failed. That works out to about 12% of all Americans at the time were unemployed. Unemployed, of course, being people who are actually like actively looking for jobs. You're not really counted as unemployed if you're not looking for a job. So that's not even considering all the people who are like, I'll be fine. And then commonly reused items were clothing, sheets, towels, and flour bags. Those were used to repair. Rubber from car tires was used to repair shoe soles. Jars and containers were continuously reused. We do that a lot in America today as well, and other places. Mason jars, just reusing those over and over. Soap and candles, any little bits from that were squished together to make new ones so that nothing was wasted. String and elastic bands was used to kind of sew things together. Buttons were used to replace buttons that had broken off, or even as game pieces. Kitchen scraps, this one I found cool. So chicken feet were often put together into a soup. And then the innards and gizzards, people just eat those. Feathers were used to stuff pillows and mattresses. And then water, people would use the same water and over and over with multiple people washing in the same water, then proceeding to wash their clothes in that water, and then proceeding to wash their dishes in that water. And then things that you can reuse, aluminum foil, which is what my action card was called. Ziplocs, just wash them, use them again. Jars, you can reuse your water in the sense that you could wash your dishes with it. Then if you just keep it, you can use it to water your garden or something like that. I wouldn't recommend multiple people washing in it, then using it to wash your clothes, and then using that to wash your dishes. It probably wasn't too sanitary.
Awesome.
That's what I've got.
Looks like you have some questions. Mia.
I was reading that during the Great Depression, like Samuel said, a lot of people used like flour or potato sacks to use clothes or bedding or something like that. And that there were companies that, well, the few people that were able to work in companies that were still making those flour sacks and stuff, some of them would make limited edition patterned ones because they saw that people were making clothes for their kids out of it. And so they would put patterns and small little patches on it so that the clothes would have something with a little bit of color on it during the Great Depression.
Lydia?
One thing you want to do if you reuse water, I'm pretty sure it's either soap or salt that you can't put on plants. I think it's salt, but you don't want to use it if you have like salt in it because it'll actually kill the plants. And if it's not salt, then it's soap. I know it's one of them,
Absolutely.
but I know that that can actually like harm plants and kill them.
Okay. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, y'all. Taylor?
All right. I got light bulb, and the first thing I thought when I saw the title of this was when Drew said it, light bulb. Okay. I have 52 light bulbs in the interior of my house. That includes the 23 that are already LEDs, but for the sake of convenience and my sanity, we'll pretend they're all incandescent. The average LED costs $5 compared to the incandescents, which cost $1. But regardless of the sales price, the outcome is far better with LEDs. The average home uses 11,000 hours of electricity a year. Over a span of 25,000 hours, the LEDs only cost $21.25 at 0.10 kilowatts, at 0.10 per kilowatt. Whereas the incandescents cost around $150 at the same amount and usage. With LEDs, you only need one for the entire 25,000 hours of use, but with the alternative, it's up to 21 to do the same job. If I switched all of the lights in my house, I would have to buy 51 lights. That would end up costing me $255. If each one saves me $128.75, that's a whopping $6,566.25 saved combined. I would also be saving 1,287.5 kilowatts per the 25 hours.
Okay.
Thank-
Thank you. And Tyler.
Okay, I'm gonna try and keep this short. But I had to research the pros and cons of living in a HOA or not living in an HOA. And I found that usually when you live in an HOA, it's usually much more like private, enclosed, and sometimes even more safe environment, especially if you have like kids or something, because when you're there, there's a lot more people paying for stuff and you can get kicked out or evicted a lot faster than you could if like I have a friend, Garrett. He doesn't live on an HOA, he lives off the grid, everything. And he's off the grid. But anyways, yeah, he can't get evicted except by like the government, and even that they would have a fight on their hands. But so when you do live in a POA, you do have to usually pay like a monthly fee. You have to obviously obey the rules, stuff like that. And I honestly wouldn't mind that. Like right now, we live in an HOA. Some of the rules that they have are same thing. Sometimes they're a little annoying. Like the only pets that we can have, I think, are like fish, dogs, cats. But other than that, the rules aren't really that bad. Versus when you're living off the grid, like generally when you live in an HOA, it's a lot cleaner. Like you get free like snow removal for your roads, stuff like that. Versus when you're off the grid, you have to pay for all that yourself. So it's kind of depending on what you want. You often pay close to the same, because when you pay those monthly fees, you pay for the snow removal, sidewalks, cleaning, or all any of that. But if you do that yourself, then yeah, depends on what you want.
Can we do our action cards first? Because we have to go soon.
Yeah, don't you still have 15 minutes?
Brian, we're good. It's fine.
All right.
We're good.
I want to note our neighborhood. So we have a property owners association, and my dad's on the board, so he gets to have all that fun chaos. So we have a pool, and a tennis court and a playground, and so that's part of what it goes to. And we have it so that you have to have a fob to get into the pool or the tennis court area. And so if you don't pay your dues, then you don't get to use your fob. It's turned off. So it makes it so people have more incentive to use it, unless of course someone else from the neighborhood lets them, but they're not supposed to do that. But we also don't get yards mowed or sidewalks done or anything. It's really mostly just the stuff down at the common area that pay for. And we can't have any livestock, but apparently we can have chickens because that's not considered livestock. It's called fowl stuff, whatever. But you're not really allowed. Yeah, except that that's sort of disputed in our neighborhood right now. So that's a fun thing. And so my dad's on the board, so he gets to deal with all of the things.
Okay. Well, thank you for your action cards. Let's move on, and I will draw Tyler and Ryan first. So let's first do Tyler. You hit a feral pig. Pay $20,000 to the bank. Oops.
That sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Just so you know, we hit a feral pig in June, and the insurance company has totaled our car, and it's costing us a lot of money. So, Tyler, you're going to have someone who's living it talking to you about what you've learned. It's pretty amazing. Research areas where domesticated animals have escaped, gone wild, and now roam freely. Is there an economic consequence to these animals?
When can I get something about phones or technology?
Didn't you get it the very first week? I don't remember. Maybe, I don't know. We just like
Me,
to
it was-
crush hopes and dreams. What's that?
Yeah, you crushed mine,
Elijah's-
all right?
Yeah.
Elijah's been waiting for the coin collector one this whole time. And we just keep waiting. All right, Ryan, you are a lawn mower. Collect $10,000 from each player. So that'll be plus 100,000. And
Should I
everybody
give it to
else will
someone?
owe
'Cause it won't help me.
10,000.
Wait, Ryan, give it to me. Your brother will win this. I will win the game.
Research what it takes.
I mean, it won't help me at all.
And give it to me. I beg
Are you
you.
ready to hear what the whole topic?
Him.
Research what it
Yeah.
takes to start your own lawn mowing business. What is the overhead and what is the profit? In what areas of the country would this be a successful business? Okay. Let's go with Rin next.
Wait, who is the richest person again?
I on
Elijah.
Elijah.
Yeah, give it all to Elijah.
Elijah, do you accept that?
I will if he wants to, but I certainly don't need it.
Okay, Ryan.
Deny it.
I have no idea what you're saying right now. You're all crackly. Is anyone getting that? Brian and Tyler, we have no idea what has just been said. All right, we're gonna put a tag. on that. Oh, what's going on? Oh, they're gone. Okay, Elijah, hold tight. We'll find out what's really gonna happen here when they come back. Rin,
Can you hear us?
yeah, not anymore.
Oh, dang it.
There.
Hello? Hello?
Okay.
Okay, I gave my 100 grand to Elijah.
And Elijah accepted it. Okay,
Wait, Miss JJ,
yeah.
how did he get 100 grand? Did he get 10K from each player, or was that just getting 100 grand?
That was 10K from each player for the lawn mowing business.
Okay. Okay, and that's for Ryan?
Ryan Ryan earned 100,000
Uh-huh.
of 10,000 from each of you for his lawn care business, and he has given it to Elijah. Taylor,
So, but we still pay it to Ryan.
you still
Right.
pay it to Ryan.
I don't have a lawn. I live in a teepee.
Don't care. Maggie,
I mowed down your teepee.
okay. Rin,
I set it on fire.
Rin, you're buying a home theater. Research the average amount of time people in the US spend watching television. Samuel,
I had it on-
How much money was Ren's?
pay 50,000. Samuel, affordable housing, collect 40,000 from the bank. Research the most and least affordable cities or towns in your state. What is offered or not offered by each one? Why are they more or less affordable? Okay, Taylor. Pay a pink tax. Pay 40,000 to the bank.
Can it be a purple tax?
Nope, it's a pink tax. Let me tell you why. It's an actual thing. Research if it costs more to raise a male or a female. What is the pink tax and what products have a pink tax? Pink tax is an
Males
actual.
cost more. They eat 10
I
times.
can't wait to hear this answer. This is gonna be great.
We'll look forward to hearing it.
How much am I paying?
40,000. Mia, volunteer at the community garden. Collect 20,000 from the bank. Okay. Does your community offer a garden? Who is allowed to collect and use the harvest? Maggie. Get a fish. Pay $10,000 to the bank.
That's a prize winning fish right there. He's a
You
winner.
must have a special fish.
Research
Can it do tricks or something?
Research the costs of owning various types of fish. What expenses are part of owning an aquarium? And also, if you want to get really interesting, research what happened when Finding Nemo came out. Lydia, visit a zoo. Pay $10,000 to the bank.
I seem to like visiting veterinarians and zoos.
You're really into the animals, I take it.
I do like animals, but when I've gone to the zoo, the most it'll cost is $100 or $200 for your family or whatever. You can get a zoo pass for under like 1,000.
Well,
It's
guess
not anywhere near 10K.
research when it makes sense to purchase a season pass versus a one-time admission ticket. Kenna, get a speeding ticket. Pay 30,000 to the bank.
That's gonna happen for sure in my future.
Research the average cost of a speeding ticket in your area and the ways you can reconcile with the law.
When my dad gets pulled over, he doesn't get a ticket because he's a firefighter. He knows like half the people in the department, and they have like basketball tournaments every year.
And my mom's brother was a police officer.
Well, I guess you'll have to find out how
Maggie,
the other people live.
Maggie has just told me she's going to cook her fish.
Find out how much it's going to cost to eat that dinner. Elijah,
Well, I mean,
A lifetime of happiness.
all right, Elijah, start a worm farm. Collect $10,000 from the bank. Research how vermiculture can reduce your trash output. How much trash does the average household generate each year, and what is the cost of trash service in your area? Ren, is Chase ever going to come back to class, or is he done for the summer?
I have no clue.
Okay, then I'm going to draw it for him because I'm not sure what his life looks like.
He said he was watching the recording today, so I would draw it for him.
Oh, well, Chase, we miss you. Start a compost. Collect $10,000 from the bank. And that, it's funny to me how it seems like our topics kind of blend with each other some days. Research the positive impacts of using compost fertilizer in your garden. Because a worm farm goes really well with composting. And like, it just is funny to me how sometimes this works well. Okay, so all of the action cards, any questions? Are we good to go with that? Does anyone want to roll for a new house or a new career?
I would love to try and roll for the farmhouse.
Is that Lydia talking to me?
Yes.
All right. Lydia, let's see what we can do for you. You get one
And I'm still putting up my one choice.
one choice this week,
Wow.
but I'm putting my hands in and I'm swishing it all around. Houseboat. Not the farmhouse.
How many?
4.
How many is that?
4.
Yeah, that's 3 too little.
All right. Samuel,
If anyone wants to buy my action or career role, I'm willing to let them do that.
all right. That offer's on the table. Samuel, are you rolling for a house? What are you doing? Okay, let's see what we've got for you. 4 choices. Which one are you aiming for?
The farmhouse, it's the cheapest one that'll fit all my children.
Friend's couch,
Exactly.
basement, suburban dream, eco house. No go? Okay, the highest occupancy is 6. Okay. Anyone, Kenna?
Can I give my house role to Lydia?
Yeah. I would accept that. Lydia, do you accept that?
Who is that from again?
Kenna.
Kenna. You're on my good list now. Yes.
Okay, 4. Let's try again. Cabana, spooky shack, mansion, or studio apartment.
I think the only one that could fit me is the mansion, and that's 160, right?
It's 180.
Or 18. Oh, yeah, I don't think so. Thank you, Kenna.
Sorry, Maggie.
Because I'm not rolling for one, can I give mine to Samuel because he has been trying for the farmhouse for a long time?
Yes, Samuel, do you accept that?
Why
Yeah.
not?
Okay. 4. 4 is the lucky number of the roll right now. Suburban dream, treehouse, windmill, teepee. I'm just gonna see if the farmhouse is even in here. I think it is. Oh yeah, it's right there, right there. You got nothing. The windmill, I think
Sorry,
you're
Samuel.
already
I
in,
tried.
right? Okay. Are we good?
No, I'm in the family home.
Oh, you're in the family home. Do you want to be in the
And-
windmill?
No,
It's
it
the
costs
same
$10 more
as me.
$1,000. A lot.
Okay. Well, I think that's it
Yeah,
for
me,
today, though.
Samuel, you and me are in the exact same house. The same type of house.
But I hope you've colored the walls differently. All right. I
Yeah,
appreciate
see, the family house is it's the cheapest one other than the farmhouse that can fit all 5 of my children. I just want 4 children. That would just make it so much easier.
the world is actually
Like, come
Yeah,
on.
it must be tough having
2 kids. But
If some people's kids can get married, then can't they just leave the home or something?
one can always hope, but in the scope of this game, probably not.
Oh, it's one thing when your kid goes to college and they move back in, but it's another thing when they get married and they're still living with you. I feel like that's crossing the line.
I
I'm
know.
done there.
All right, you weirdos. I appreciate you. We'll see you in class on Thursday, okay?
Yeah, because then wouldn't you have to?
Okay.
Wouldn't you have another opportunity then?
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.